Imagine sitting down for your first week at a new job, right?
Yeah.
And a senior colleague looks you dead in the eye and just says, listen, people are not meant to be fixed and reused.
Ouch. Yeah, that is incredibly harsh.
I mean, it really is. But is it actually true? Today on the Deep Dive, we are exploring this age-old question of whether human beings can fundamentally change.
Right. Can we actually rewrite our own code?
Exactly. And to do that, we have a pretty unique stack of sources today. We're looking at personal notes from a devotional instructor, specifically on a 7-step quiet time routine, paired with the ancient biblical text of Ezekiel 36.
Yeah, and what we are really doing here is exploring the tension between this, modern workplace cynicism about human nature and a pretty profound spiritual promise of radical transformation.
Okay, let's unpack this, because that workplace quote from our sources, it perfectly captures our modern practical cynicism.
Totally. I mean, in HR, the standard advice is often just to hire for character, right? Because you can't really train it into someone.
Right. It's like a hard-coded operating system.
You critique a person's output, not their personality. Trying to alter someone's core attitude through sheer force of management is just a losing battle.
Wait, I have to push back on that a bit.
Yeah.
What about, neuroplasticity or like the entire self-help industry?
No, absolutely.
We are constantly told that if we just build the right atomic habits, we literally rewire our brains. So how can we just accept that people are unfixable?
Well, what's fascinating here is that is the exact tension the author of our first source is wrestling with.
Because they teach habits for a living, right?
Exactly. This person is literally a quiet time instructor. Their entire job is teaching people to build a daily spiritual routine.
Yeah.
Yet looking at their own life and their students, they admit that simply grinding out a habit for years doesn't automatically change who you are at your core.
So just doing the thing doesn't make you the thing.
Right. You can force yourself to wake up at 5 a.m. and read a text, but the routine itself doesn't possess the power to change your underlying desires.
You're basically just white-knuckling it.
Yeah, you really are. If you just white-knuckle your way through a discipline, your core nature hasn't shifted at all. You have just built a very disciplined facade right over it.
Wow. So if internal willpower and habit stacking are dead ends for fundamental change, we are forced to look for an external catalyst.
We are.
And that naturally leads to the solution proposed by the ancient text in our sources, Ezekiel 36.
Right, and context here is key. This text describes the ancient nation of Israel after they have been scattered due to their own destructive actions.
Which was defiling their land, right?
Yes, exactly. But rather than telling them to go fix themselves and earn their way back, God promises to restore them completely from the outside.
And not even for their sake, which is wild.
Right. The text explicitly says he will do this to vindicate his own holy name, not because they deserved it.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Because this sounds entirely countercultural today. It's a total bypass of human willpower.
It really is.
The text talks about removing a heart of stone and replacing it with a heart of flesh. It's not a self-improvement regimen. It's a spiritual heart transplant.
Yeah.
But let's ground that. How does an external source functionally change someone's behavior?
Well, it's less about magic and more about a complete shift in motivation.
Okay. How so?
Think of a heart of stone as impenetrable self-reliance. You only do things that serve you. But the text says God puts his spirit within them to actively cause obedience.
So the catalyst for change comes purely as unearned grace from the outside.
Exactly. And that grace breaks down that self-reliance. It creates a heart of flesh, meaning it makes you pliable, empathetic, and responsive.
Oh,
You aren't obeying out of gritty obligation anymore. You are responding out of deep gratitude.
The mechanism of change isn't a new set of rules then.
No, not at all.
It's a fundamental reorientation of what you actually want to do, driven entirely by an outside force.
Yes. And that completely resolves our instructor's dilemma from earlier. The daily routine doesn't change you. The routine only matters if it acts as a space where you can actually receive that external grace.
Oh, wow. So the habit isn't the hammer reshaping you.
No, it's just you showing up to the forge.
So what does this all mean for you listening? This really reframes how we look at all our daily disciplines.
It definitely challenges our modern obsession with life hacks.
Right, we live in an era obsessed with self-optimization and fixing ourselves. But these sources argue that true Radical transformation can't be manufactured by flexing your sheer willpower.
Yeah, relying purely on your routine is really just another way of relying on yourself.
And as that HR advice warned us at the very beginning, we aren't meant to be fixed and reused by our own sheer effort.
Absolutely.
So think about your own morning routines and self-improvement habits tomorrow. Are those practices actually making you more receptive, tender, and open to change from the outside? Or, by relying purely on your own willpower, are you just polishing a heart of stone?